Hello and welcome. As you understand by the title to this clip, I have a question for you. I wonder whether texts are wrongly written. I think they are. Through my investigations, I have concluded that the following text is better. I refer to that text as a cluster text, and it can be significantly better than ordinary text. It can be compared to an ordinary book whose layout usually looks like this. I call these ordinary text rectangle text because of their many rectangle shapes. Such texts are worth to read, and in a number of clips I will describe the slightly surreal situation we're about to enter. You may have already realized that if the cluster text is correct, it means that all previous texts have been wrongly written. I will start by telling you what you could expect from the different clips. This first clip will only function as an introduction to the other clips. In clip 2, I describe the cluster text and how typographers and many other people previously have viewed texts. Hence, I will also describe a rectangle text. In clip 3, describe the advantages of the cluster text and the disadvantages of rectangle text. In clip 4, I mention a number of things that might be good to keep in mind when doing typographical investigations. You may need to think about them when you will investigate whether the cluster text is better for you as well. In clip 5, I present my books, which you can use in different ways to find out whether cluster texts are better and how much better they actually are. In clip 6, I wonder whether you are prepared to support me if the cluster text leads to many improvements. I will discuss some situations that may be interesting to think about. These 6 clips form part of my announcement of the cluster text to the general public that I have planned for April 2023. I was in a hurry when I made them, so I have to apologize for their quality. I know that they need improvement, but that I did not have the time to prepare myself properly. I just wrote, read and recorded them as quickly as I could, as I thought it was more important to present the information. So you will have to put up with these clips until I am able to replace them with better ones. I hope for your understanding regarding this matter. In the future, I also hope to contribute with some longer presentations. Then I will describe in detail how, for example, reading and typography work, and how we can produce really good cluster text in different programs, so that you can also easily learn how to create professional text. I will also tell you a bit about the history of the text and give you some thoughts on learning science and philosophy, especially research philosophy, as I use them to develop the cluster text. It's quite interesting that so many people have neglected this truth regarding text. It's an object that has been put under the eyes of all of us, and still we have neglected its truth. This applies to everyone, regardless of scientific, philosophical and artistic starting points. Now I made clear what you can expect going forward. At an early stage, it's a bit strange to share my thoughts on this. It's a bit strange to present the idea that everyone else is producing erroneous text. But that seems to be the case. So now you need to consider whether you should stop writing other types of text than cluster text. This means that you need to leave your old habit of writing rectangle text to write the following text. You might be writing wrongly if you don't write such a text, and it will cause your readers to lose a lot of time. You can thus make it easier for your readers by writing better text to them. In the next clip, I describe how such text should be written. If it's true that the cluster text is better, then of course it's good if people can start using it as soon as possible. Therefore, I have also created some short clips, i.e. shorts, that you are welcome to share. They can be found among my other videos on YouTube. I can already now mention that on my website www.theandreas.com I have a sample text of approximately 9,000 words that you can use as a first test of the cluster text theory. There is also a text on the history of the text that you can use to familiarize yourself with historic text. If you then want to test the cluster text more thoroughly, you can read one or several of my books, which I therefore describe in the fifth clip in this 6-part mini-series. Now we will jump to the next clip where I will describe the cluster text.